Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys again? It's me. It's the third time in a row for me for doing a live, and this is like a lot. I'm not used to being live like consecutively in a row, but it's a little stressful for me because of everything else I got going on. But I am glad to be here. This is a great event. I always love being in the Sacred Treasure House with these ladies, Tanya and Deborah and Lisa. They're amazing. Matter of fact, Miss Tanya's finished up right now with her porch leaner. And like I said, it's a crafter's choice. There's been a lot of variety of different things going on. And I've got something kind of cool I'm working with clay. If you don't know me, I would really appreciate you coming in and saying hi if you're a first timer and tell me where you're from and maybe even tap on the screen and hit the little buttons and give me a follow. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, today, like I said, is Crafter's Choice. So I am going to be doing something that is clay related. I usually work with clay where I add a clay element into something that I'm creating, and I'm working with polymer clay today, which is no surprise to most of the people that know me. They know that I do the polymer clay. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm excited to always be here, and I'm thanking all the ladies so much for having me in this group because it's just a fun group with great categories, and I love everybody. So Tanya's finishing up. I'm gonna see myself over in the group, but I'll go ahead and just get started here in a second. Um, because I wanted to. Oh, Lisa, there you are, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. So, like I said, today is something a little project I've been wanting to work on. And back a few weeks ago in a group, we had a pollinator theme, and I ran across this idea, but I realized it actually wasn't a pollinator. But I really wanted to do it, so I'm doing it today. And what I'm going to do is a Luna moth and kind of make a mobile out of it. Obviously, I'm not going to get everything done, but I'm going to show you at least the best I can how to put the moth together and kind of maybe assemble some of it. So yeah, so we're going to be working on that, and I think it's going to be kind of cool. And I've got some little information about moths because as much as I like insects that are art related, I'm not a big, hey, Mary, how are you, darling? I'm not a big person that really likes, and Mary's the same way. I mean, I'm not a bug person per se when they're around me, but I like to look at them. Hey, Terry, how are you? I like the art of bugs, bees, butterflies, moths, things like that. Of course, roaches and stuff, they can just go, they can go under my foot as far as I'm concerned. But so anyway, like I said, today is going to be a Luna moth. And hey, Terry, I got the two Terrys right in a row. Hey, ladies, how are you? It's good to have you here. So yeah, like I said, I'm in the Sacred Treasure House today. I think I should be about in there right now. Let's see if I can find. There I am. Okay, good deal. I just like to pull myself up on my phone so I can see comments as well. And I've gotten a music jamming in my ear. I need to turn that down because it's kind of loud. I've got some Ohio players going on. Anybody know the old school Ohio players? Anyway, all right. I am good. I am actually tired. Honestly, I probably had like 3 hours of sleep last night, and then I worked today, so I'm like a little zoned, and on my third day of live. So, but I'm gonna wing it out, and get this done. Hey, Dana, how are you? Minnesota, USA. It's good to have you here, Betty. It's good to see you too, darling, and Tanya. All right, it's good to have everybody here. So, like I said before, what I'm going to be doing is a clay version of a Luna moth, and it's going to end up being like a mobile or mobile, ever how you want to say it, but it's like a little hanging structure on a wood round. But we'll get to that. So, like I like to do with you, is take you down on my table because I kind of do close work, and it just my camera angles are better that way. So yeah, let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what I got going on, and we're kind of like in a process, and hopefully get to the point where I can finish it up a little bit. Okay, now how's everybody doing today? You guys continue to comment, and because I can see the comments coming in. I'm just gonna switch my screen. Wait a minute, I'm in the wrong setting here, guys. Like I said, I'm burning the midnight oil. You burn the candle at both ends. I'm on a little steam right here, guys. So give me a little bit of grace when this goes. Okay, so literally, just like if I saw me yesterday, I literally just built this thing within like an hour, not even, and brought it out of the oven. So I'm going to finish off some details on it, but I'm going to show you like basically how I put this together, this part. But I'm going to finish painting this up, and then kind of show you how I'm assembling it onto the little round wood and all that. You look festive. Oh, you guys like my shirt? Yeah, this is a Timu shirt. I absolutely love it, guys. You got to pick this one up, this little sleeveless dude. You'll see it when I put my camera back up. It is the most comfortable, big, baggy shirt, and it was only like maybe $5. Yeah, so, and we were talking about flag shirts the other day, and I finally got my flag shirt, and it's super comfortable because it's sleeveless, but it's not like, real tanky. Pretty cool. All right, so this moth. So, like I said, I ran across these on Pinterest a while back when I was looking at pollinator ideas. And anybody ever saw that? I ended up doing those cone flowers and all that. I went in a different direction. However, I wanted to do the Luna. This is going to be one for me. It's cotton. It's mainly cotton because a lot of those things have that nylon. But this one's nice. It's like the soft cotton. I think has a little poly in it. It's really, really nice. I'm telling you, it's loose on the bottom for us girls that got a little chunky booty going on and little belly and all that. It's a really nice shirt. It's long. Love it. I got an extra large, by the way. Okay, but yeah, if anybody wants, I can probably give you the link. You just get with me and I'll show you where that shirt is on Temu. All right, so I've got a few of the elements already ready to go because of the time frame with everything here. And then, like I said, I need to do a little extra paint and infusion on this guy. But I wanted to show you kind of like how I get to this point. I won't be able to do it all. Yeah, it's pretty true to size. Like I said, I got a large cherry, and it seems to be. Oh, I think I got an extra large. I've been buying extra large of them because Asian things are always usually a little bit smaller. Those little, how do they get to be lucked out to be small? Us, Anglo-Saxon ones like me, we're kind of on the bigger side and get bigger. Okay, so what I got here, like I said, I've got my piece of clay. This is my Super Sculpey. I've rolled it out. I've got it nice and flat. I made it super thick because I want, actually, this is even thicker. This one's even thicker than this because I did this one on my pasta maker. But I got it nice and thick because I want it to be very secure for when it's going to be hanging up. But it's going to be inside a ring and whatnot as well. All right, so what I did is I found my image. This is just something from Pinterest. It's I'm sort of copying the one they had because I just loved it so much, but it's not going to be exact. And it's for me personally, so I'm not going to be trying to sell it or duplicate or anything like that. So all I'm going to do, you guys have seen this before. If you've been watching me, I'm going to cut this guy out right now. I'm not cutting out his head because as you can see, there's brown on here, and I actually have brown clay. If you didn't have brown clay, of course you can paint everything the colors you need. But for this case, I decided to go ahead and use the brown clay. It was a little less, saving me a little time on painting. And I said I'm going to put I'm going to add a little bit of metallic on the brown and a little distressing medium on that too. But I just lost my blade out of here. You guys ever do that? Lose the blades out of your X-Acto knife. See if I can get my eyeballs, tighten it up again. It just slid right out of there. Sometimes when you get these really inexpensive X-Acto knives, they do that. So yeah, I'm just cutting out the basic shapes, like a pattern, like you're sewing or something. You cut out your pattern, and then you can start adding stuff to your pattern. So is everybody doing all right on this Tuesday afternoon? It's pretty hot here in Florida, but it's nice. I can't complain. I always tell you, I love the heat. All right, so I'm just kind of cutting this out. I do a little bit of a roughness when I'm doing these things because of the time frame. If we were doing it, together in a private group, which I'm starting up soon, to be able to take more time and do that. Okay, so anyway, so you got your basic wing shape here is what we got. I don't think I'm going to need any of that anymore. So after we do that, then we got to look, and what I did basically is just kind of go by what's here. Of course, you got to make it all dimensional. So I've already got my little head. I rolled the head out right here, and you can literally just like that. You can put a little bit of the glue together to kind of hold it together. But I'm going to bake it. You bake it flat like this, and then once it's baked, like I said, you just take it off your piece, and then you can do whatever you want to because it's nice and hard. Now I've got the little I've got another migraine today and I need to work. Oh no, migraines are really awful. Thank you for the, yeah, Luna moths are my favorite. They are so cool. And I've got some facts about Luna moths too. But anyway, these are kind of cool the way that the design was. It's kind of like little leaf ears or the antennas or whatever. So for this, all I did was get another little thick piece of the brown clay and you just cut them out. You just cut out the pattern, but you're going to have to put your textures on it. So I'll just cut one. And I got to keep track of my time because I do want to finish painting the one up that's going to be the real guy, the one over here next to me, and get that on my little mobile. I've got my giveaway tool set up, guys. Please pray that it works today. If not, I will pick a name. But I'm not sure exactly why the last two times it hasn't been working. But I did it right before I started instead of way ahead of time. So maybe that had something to do with it. And maybe it will work this time. But I'll give you that hashtag word at the 5-minute mark right before we're finishing up. And whoever the winner is will get that Amazon gift certificate coming up, what, next week? Is that it? End of the month? Can't believe it's almost already June, guys. I'm looking forward to June, actually. I'll tell you that. I've got something going on in June. It's going to be really cool. All right, so I'm just putting those together. You know, you just, like I said, I just kind of follow the design on here. But you do want to make sure that these butt up against, so you kind of squish them together a little bit. And it's a leaf design, so you just basically draw your little line down the center for your leaf, and then you just do your little marks. I'll show you in a second. I know sometimes it's hard to see in the camera. You do your little marks. It looks like either like a feather or a leaf. And you can just do that number. You can use the back of a knife too. You don't have to use the X-Acto. And then on the head, it had a little bit of texture. So you can find a couple different things. You can use aluminum foil. I just sort of did some marks like this with my X-Acto knife and just kind of marred it up a little bit. Okay. Like I said, this is a very, very quick one. Is it a butterfly? It's not a butterfly or a dragonfly. It's actually, it is a Luna moth. And let me tell you a little bit about Luna moths. Is anybody, well, Lisa, you said they're your favorite. You know, you might know a little bit about them. By the way, Luna moths, let me tell you, they are totally harmless. I mean, you don't have to worry about them. They're big. They're really huge. They're almost like as big as this. They can get as big as like your hand. So a lot of people get intimidated saying, oh, what is this weird creature? But actually, they're really cool. They don't eat, believe it or not. You know, they start about in the chrysalis like a caterpillar, and then they turn into this moth. Does anybody know what the sole purpose of a Luna moth is? There's that dark light again on me. I can't stand those lights coming in the picture. Anybody know what the actual purpose of a Luna moth is? If you don't know that, I'll tell you in a second, see if anybody can guess that. All right, so after I do that, you can see actually what I did first is if you have clay, which I don't think they even make clay this color, you could pre-do your clay and make it that color by adding your color blends, but I already had my colors. So, what I got to do first is actually add my little lines and the moth in the wings. So it has those little groove lines in there. Once again, I take the back of there. Actually, I'm going to take the back of my butter knife on this one. And you just kind of go with the kind of like the shape of the actual wing itself. The Luna moths, like I said, they don't have a mouth, and so they don't eat. And I thought that was really interesting. The adult Luna moths, now there's a purpose for them, and their sole purpose is, anybody know? No, not to pollinate, but it's not that. It's sort of close to that, but it's not really that. The actual reason that a Luna moth is a Luna moth is just to reproduce. They only live 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days. So therefore, they store up all of their energy. They have no mouth. They do not eat. They have no digestive system. They literally are just designed to reproduce, and then they'll start over the whole caterpillar thing. Okay? Yeah, you got it, Terry. Reproduce. So so they just out there doing hoogity boogity, and they don't even care about eating. So that's what a Luna moth is. But they're so cool, and there's lots of different varieties of them too. I was looking at some. There's one that looks like really cool, like a cobra. I guess it's kind of like its defense mechanism the wings on it have these weird faces, and when you look at it, it does look like a dang cobra face on the ends of it. It's really funky, but it's this kind of way to protect themselves. So what I'm doing here, I have the wrong paint, is I've got kind of like a blend of colors. It is more that aqua, but I put a little aqua and mint together. I'll show you in a second. I just ended up putting my metallic on there, which I didn't want quite yet. But I've got a little bit of aqua and a little bit of this is sea green and aqua together. And I just, because I really didn't want it to be totally green, I didn't want it to be totally aqua. So at that point, I'm just kind of blending those together. I have really like a mix of, what part to what part. I just kind of do it to where it looks good to me. And then you're literally just, I guess I'm going to end up making two of these because once I paint it, I can't take the paint off of there. There's a Luna moth on my porch. Really? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, they're all over the place. They're not just indigenous to one particular area of the world. They do hang out everywhere. So now you know they don't have a mouth. They don't feed, and all they do is just there to find a mate and just get it on. Let's get it on so that they can keep making their babies, keep making them caterpillars. All right, so you can see here I just paint the color on there. All right, now after I get the color on, generally you're going to let it dry for a second. Maybe I might let this dry and I'll go over and switch to my other one that I finished off. I'll do that because I need to add the other elements on here. And this is exactly what I did. I just laid everything down here and I stuck it all together and I painted it. I baked it just like this, okay, on a different board. All right, but I did want to go, let me set this aside, and then I'm going to go back to this one. I want to add a little extra something on this one. I'm not quite done with it. I wanted to make these little guys in the actual photograph I found on Pinterest. These kind of are like kind of pearlized. They're sort of glossy. So where is my small brush? Let me take a small brush here for that. Yeah, so let's see what else about. They don't eat. They live about 7 days. Sole purpose is to rotate. Oh, and does anybody know why they're actually called Luna moths? So what I'm doing here is I'm taking a little bit of ice blue, and I probably do a little bit of color shift because I want to get kind of like a real bright, not bright, but like a real shimmery kind of look on the large pieces there. So yeah, does anybody know why they're called Luna? And for me, of course, Luna means moon. So you naturally think it has something to do with the moon, and it kind of does. Thank you. So I initially thought that it was because they're not kind of nocturnal, but I don't really think they are really just nocturnal. But that's really not why they're called Luna moths. Anybody have a guess? They're moon-shaped spots. Terry, are you just naturally smart? How are you Googling these things? You seem to know a lot of stuff, girlfriend. Yeah, so you can see I'm putting a little bit of sheen on these. I'm kind of making these glow a little bit with that metallic. I'm not doing it with all of it, just that. But I am going to put a little bit of that on the brown too, because I want it to be. I'm kind of really honestly trying to recreate the one I saw on Pinterest because I just love it. And it's got looks like a little bit of copper rust on the brown. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then I'm going to age it all down, guys. I am going to age it all down with the brown, make it really kind of pop out. Okay, I don't know if the other ones are like that. Let me look at my picture real quick. You guys having good days? And I know Terry said she's got a migraine. That sucks. And I know I'm just kind of getting over the crud too. Good Lord, guys. What is it? Just, I don't know about this. But even in the picture, you guys can see how those pop out, right? Even though the other picture, I'm going to do these. I kind of like that look. I'm going to put the other picture doesn't have them like that. But this is where I'm going to use my artistic license and kind of bring those out. Now, when I put the brown distressing wax on there, it's going to take these down again. Like you're not going to see all of that sheen, but I'll actually zhuzh them back up. That's kind of how I do it. I do it, and then I bring it back in a little bit to kind of bring them back up again. But I think that looks better having all of the balls with a little bit of sheen on them like that. Okay. So yeah, anybody have an idea? So it is that, Terry. My bad. Yeah. Lucky guess. Yeah, sure. You're just bright. You're just a brilliant woman. What can you say, right? All right. So where is my? I might bring it up here. Hold on, guys. Grab some of this. I still haven't finished my seahorse from yesterday. I just finished my little farmhouse piggies and tomato bucket, but I've got tomorrow off and I'm going to be in my studio, so I'll be able to finish all that up. So at this point, like I said, I'm taking this copper. I'm going right over the brown with this because I just want to make it a little bit brighter as well, kind of a rust copper color. And I'm not going to do that with the rest of the body. I'm just kind of putting little highlights here and there on it. I'm not even doing the whole thing. Just kind of bringing it out a little bit. One thing I forgot about the picture before, and as I did it, I'm like, man, I'm going to have to refire this. See, there's little bitty balls up here. right in here. I forgot to roll those balls and put those on. So actually, I can go ahead and do that right now. I've got the balls rolled out, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick those on. This is my glue. I'm going to refire this. And sometimes when you refire with a metallic, sometimes the metallic kind of gets a little bit duller and you got to repaint it. But for the most part, when you fire it, it does not do that. So you're pretty good to go. How is it situated? It's right on the other side here, right? This glue is pretty cool. When it dries pretty clear. You really don't see it. So I've got like a little lip right there. I'm not worried about it. All right, put a little bit. I just did as extra securities. A lot of times they stick to one another, but when they're just sitting on top and they're not real squished down, it's nice to have them kind of with that glue as extra security. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and paint those. Thank you. Hey there, Miss Angie Wade. How are you, girl? It's good to see you. Always, always, always. I got to be a little careful because I don't want to get this on the actual blue part of my moth. And it's already been baked, and naturally I could try to fix it and paint over it, but I don't want to have to go that route. Okay, so yeah, this is, like I said, I'm going to make like a little hanging mobile. That's kind of my idea. I just saw the moth. I'm like, well, the moth is cool in itself, but how do I display it? So I thought about doing this little mobile thing. I need a small brush to get inside the little areas there. Maybe I should just, I kind of goofed on this part here. I got a little bit of the paint on the brown. I have to fix that. You guys probably can't see that, so I probably didn't have to tell you. Anyway, you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm adding a little bit of that in there, on there, and that's it. I think, I don't know, maybe I'll put it, I need a smaller, I need a little teeny brush, guys, to go around that. All right, and after I get this done, maybe we'll switch over, or maybe not. We'll see. I mean, you guys got the basic idea. I want to make sure that I think what I'll do is once I finish this up, I'll show you how I'm going to sub it to the mobile, because actually I need some other pieces to it. I didn't get that far. Like I said, I was rushing. I've been working and getting off work and trying to watch everybody and then fix dinner and do laundry and everything else the last few days. So I'm literally having to create my crafts while I'm in the studio written after work. So, and that's usually not like me. I usually am pretty good about getting things organized and keeping it together and all that. Okay, I think that's pretty good there. All right, cover a little bit of that. I think that's covered up. All right. Let's see comments. Loving the turquoise. Yeah, it is kind of like a mint turquoise. It's got a little bit of mint tone in there, so it's kind of cool. All right, so like I said, I'm going to set that aside, and that needs to dry for a second, and then I will put the distressing medium over all of this. And oh, I've got my, darn it, I can't do that because well, I'll just try to do it and bypass the little guys on top. When they're raw, you can't really put the distressing medium on there, but everything else I can. I think I got the skills for that. We'll do that. Let's kind of go back to the other one if I can find out where the heck I put it. Oh, it's over here. Oh, duh. I already got it painted up. I was looking for the other color. All right, so yeah, with this one, so at that point, I did my base color, and to tell you the truth, before I even did that, I did the same things I did last time. So if you look at this one, you got all your little beads and all your little elements here. They're all painted the same color. The best thing to do is actually place those on here and then put your brown on. That way you can just paint everything all at once. So, following along with what I did, I'm just going to kind of do this. At this point, like I said, since I've already painted this one, maybe I'll end up making another moth, and I'm not sure what I'll do with it, but maybe I might put it in my auction or something. We kind of got to place them about right there, just kind of guesstimating, looking at the other one, kind of following the other one. So you do that. It has also this little V centerpiece. Excuse me. And I have these little dudes here. Now these guys, I wanted to show you this. I do want to show you this, and then I'll worry about getting the other beads and stuff on later. But I want to show you, like everybody pretty much has played with clay. Hold on, let me move this aside. Everybody's pretty much played with clay in school, I'm sure. And you've rolled out, this is called a roll or a sausage or whatever. But there is a certain way to do it. Are you using regular Sculpey clay or the Sculpey 3? I'm using both. You can see the Sculpey 3 is this beige. Anytime you see this beige, that's what that is. But for the brown, I've got, it's the Craft Smart. That's the only, when I don't use my beige, I'm using the Michael's Craft Smart. You can use Sculpey if you want. Sculpey's a little bit more expensive, and it basically is the same thing. That's why I use this Michael's Craft Smart brand. It's like $1 or so cheaper, and plus you get coupon discounts and all that sort of thing. That's why I do that. All right. So anyway, so I roll this out, but when you're rolling like this, is kind of like coiling is kind of what it is. You're rolling and you roll from the start and you kind of lightly do this number. In my little video, of course, I try to show you this. You just lightly do that and that gives you a nice smooth roll and it's pretty consistent. If it gets thin in the middle, you can kind of press it together. All right, so this is another way too to kind of, if you need like a little flat ribbon surface like this, you can actually take that and just take your roller and just roll it down like that and you'll get a nice flat ribbon surface. Okay, and then you can even flatten it out even more. See, it's nice and flat now, and you can, like I said, you can flatten it out even more, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep that nice and flat and make that kind of big, depending on what you're doing and what your project is. Like I said, I'm kind of breaking my own rule because I'm probably not going to paint all of those other ones at this point, just because of the sake of time. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. So what you would do is you literally just lay this on top. You follow the line of your little wing there. You get it kind of situated. Since it's not, I have 3 Sculpey and it's hard to. Oh, okay. I'm going to give you some tips right there, Terry. The private group's coming up within a few weeks. Honestly, like I said, tomorrow I'll be able to sit down and get things caught up and make some announcements and. But I can show you that. I do give you some tips, I think, in the little video course, so you can check that out. But if you want to wait for me, but basically the thing to do is it is harder, and that's the whole point of it. But it's actually nicer when you start working with it and you understand. That's why I love it so much when you're doing a lot of things. It stands up, it's firmer. All right, so you can see I just laid that ribbon down, and yeah, get with me on that, Terry, and I'll give you little tips on how to do that. To get it to where you can roll it out. You do it like little pieces at a time, a little piece, little piece, little piece. Okay. All right. So that's that. Then I have another piece here, and this one I didn't roll out. I left it kind of like what you call it, like round, and it just basically curves around like that. I probably need to cut a piece or so off. Okay. You just kind of forming it like that. Now, like I said, normally what I would do is paint all of the little what you call it, elements, your little I don't know, your little circles or sphere elements, your little balls, I guess. Paint all of those up first, and then put all your brown pieces on there. And that way you got your different colors. If they made every single color of paint of clay under the sun, then we wouldn't have to do it. But I don't mind painting the clay. Just sometimes you got to figure out how you're going to do it. Okay, so you guys get the basic gist. Okay, you get the basic idea here. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch back to my other one. I think it's dry enough. And I'm going to go ahead and put that distressing medium on there. And I'm keep looking at my time. I've got till what time? 4:45. I got till, I don't know, 34. I got to 4:45. All right, so I got like 15, 20-ish minutes. Okay, I'm not doing too bad. I guess I can slow down a little bit. All right, so like I said, that's it right there. Let me stress this, and if I get still caught up pretty good, then I'll go back to that one that I was building. I know I keep switch hitting on you guys, but I just want to make sure I get the actual piece done that I want to get done. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to save, I'm going to put this little nasty thing down because it keeps me from getting my surface on my mat all dirty. See, I had all these little guys. It's really not, if you look at this piece, by the way, it's really not a lot of pieces. It's a little bit of rolling the balls. You can sit there and roll them in your hand. It's a little circle by the head. It's 2 of these little guys. And then you just got some little coil pieces, some little long, light tosser pieces, and you just put them all together. So if you break the pieces down when you're making anything with clay or even whatever, if you just break it down in steps, you really find that it's not that hard. It might look that way, but when you put it all together, it's really not. Okay, so I'm going to my go-to. This is just my little Waverly wax distressing stuff that I use all the time. I simply use it because it's cheap and it's easy and it works for me. All right, so like I said, all I got to do is make sure that I avoid these little top pieces that are still raw. And like I said, I'll have to end up baking this again, but it'll be all right. And when I bake it, it might end up altering the colors, to tell you the truth. I'm going over everything. I really wanted it on all of it. But I really especially wanted to try to get it inside those grooves that I did in the wings. Like I said, remember, all of this is already baked. And it's been, some of these little balls might come off on me because because I didn't glue all of them down. So if they come off, I'll just have to glue them all down. So it looks a little funky like this point until you start taking it off. But I even want to get it on the copper color because I want to take it all down and I want to make it look a little bit more aged, which is, I like that look. Claytastic, you got it, girlfriend. We playing in the clay today. Yeah, I'm getting the sides too. I want to make sure I get all of the edges on the sides because this, like I said, this one's going to be a hanging piece, and you will see it from all, like your sides when it's hanging up. Which I'm going to show you here in a second how I'm going to put it on my little wood round thing that I got. Okay, I got to get the head too. We don't have the head and all that. There's something about, man, I tell you what, that's why we love all these aging mediums. It just really just changes the whole look of the piece when you throw this stuff on here. Like I said, it'll probably take down some of that metallic, but I'll just actually, what I usually do if it does it that much, I'll just add metallic back on it. Okay, now let me get me a baby wipe and see how much of this I need to take off. I'm trying to get it in those grooves because that's really what I want to do. Okay. Sometimes, like I said, since this is wax, and I usually wait till the very end before I put this wax stuff on because I want to bake it. But I have baked it with a distressing medium on there, and it does pretty good. Even though it's a 275 temperature, it's pretty low. All right, so let's start taking some of this off here. Any other facts about you guys? Anybody know about Luna Moss? I know probably. Hey, Lydia, how are you, my girlfriend? My sweet sister. It's good to have you here. How's your mama? Didn't you have an appointment with her today? Like I said, this is almost like I get tomorrow off in midweek for my part. I only work 3 days a week, and it's only a few hours a week, but it's always at the beginning of the week, and Fridays I work too. But it's just kind of like everybody else is doing stuff in the crafty groups, and I'm like trying to gear up for my work week. And I work with an elderly couple in their home, doing home care with them and helping them out and feeding them and all kinds of things like that. All right, so I kind of want to get in there. If you get stuck with that, see how cool that looks now, guys? Okay, if you get stuck, I want to take a little bit of this out of the center. Be sure to join the second. Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to do that. If you guys are first timers and you're not familiar with Sacred Treasure House, please join that group. It's a free group and they are such fun. We just have the best, they're just fun. It's fun, is all I can say. Funny, fun. Deborah and Tanya and Lisa come up with some of the greatest themes, and they do the cooking in the kitchen. I haven't done the kitchen thing yet. I might get there. We talked about that. Like, I cook a lot, so I don't really want to have to cook when I'm on camera, but I might do it. I might do it one day. You guys might talk me into it at some point. But yeah, I'm trying to get inside them little grooves, and it's kind of hard. So I just take like a toothpick or something like that and try to, but in the camera, it doesn't look that bad having that little bit of extra brown on there. I know, I do too. This is my favorite group, honestly. I absolutely love this group. Love the group. I love everybody in here. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I want to get in that one little spot there. It's kind of hard. All right, there we go. I got it. I got it cleaned out now. What do you guys think? Looks pretty cool, huh? All right, now we got my time. I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach it to my mobile. And I was at Dollar Tree yesterday, and I was looking at, I always go to the wood section. I have affinity for wood too, guys. And I was looking at these little flat wood pieces, all the little pieces you can do. And I'm like, man, I don't think I need to get that because I think I have some. And lo and behold, if I didn't, and now I need it. So my little mobile actually needs the piece that to attach it, but we'll show you pretty much how it is. Now, let me get this out of the way. All right, so like I said, I'm still going to end up baking the darn thing, so I I got to get these little guys all baked up. I could actually take these off and bake them separately and glue them on. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? We'll see how it all comes together. I might decide to do this. But once again, about baking this, I baked this one, the first initial bake. Oh, by the way, I do have to paint the backside. The backside is still raw, and I'll do that once everything's all done. But the backside of this here is been baked for about 17 minutes. I mean, I was putting it in the oven when Tanya was coming on, and I had to bake it for at least 20 minutes. I was like, ooh, it was still a little bit warm. All right, so what I decided to do is I've got these little wood rounds, and they're kind of like the embroidery things, but they actually have these at the Dollar Tree where they're just the little circles. Maybe you guys have seen these. I snagged me a couple of these. So here's my thought. I didn't get that far. Like I said, I've just been kind of running ragged, but I, got some. You guys seen this at the Dollar Tree too? It's really cool. It's the first time I've ever used it, and I saw somebody else use this one in a live once. I'm like, oh my god, I want some of that, and I actually found a roll for myself. So what I'm going to do is just attach this. What I wanted to do is I need a little bit of thin piece of that balsa wood. I want to attach this to the back. I mean, to a piece of balsa wood, and actually put it on here simply because it'll give me something to attach my little Luna moth to. Okay, so that's kind of like the concept. I'm going to add this on here, and I can go ahead and do that now and add my wood to it later, I think, or maybe I should just wait till I get my wood. But it's going to be along the lines like that, if you guys can sort of see that. Then another thing that I really was super duper hoping to get to is I'm going to make myself some individual. I'm going to roll out some really cool, funky colored, like little beads, and I'm going to put beads around the actual the wood round, and I'm going to put them like that, and I'm going to set the wood in the oven with the beads, and I'm going to bake it. Okay, whole thing's going to be baked like that, so I'll have that little extra color there, and then I might actually end up adding some attached pieces down below, and then I'll have like a little hanger and I can hang it up. Okay, so I think it's going to be really cool. Like I said, it's a piece I am making for myself. I'll have to go out and finish that other one though, since I started painting it. So maybe if anybody's into this, they might want to snag that one on the auction next time. All right, so 4:35. How much time do I got left? I look like I got time. Am I off on my time or something? I don't know. We'll see. How much time do I got left on my timer here? My timer says 4:40. Oh, 4:45. Okay, I got 10 minutes. Do I really have 10 minutes left? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. All right, well, if I got 10 minutes left, I think what I'll go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and attach this piece, and then I'll go back to working on the other one since I have to do it anyway. But isn't that cool how it shimmers? I absolutely love brown and blue. The complementary colors. I love brown with like a light aqua or a light blue tone. I think it's the prettiest combination, one of the prettiest combinations. That's pretty darn cool, huh? All right, so let me go ahead, and I'm going to put this little guy on here with some glue, and then I'll switch over, since I do have some time. I'll switch over back to my other one that I have to end up making anyway. And I can paint the back. No, I don't want to paint the back of that right now. I'll do that later. Isn't it? Yeah, it is one of my favorite color combinations. All right, so let me see. For this, I'm just going to kind of do this number, I guess. I don't know. It's such a weird thin fabric. I thought about putting another fabric behind it to hold it. It's kind of be kind of weird to actually glue. You guys got any ideas on this? Oh, you know what? I think I can double it up. If you double it up, it gives it a little extra thickness, and then I'll just double it up and turn it over. Yeah, that's the way to go. All right, let me do it that way. Double up, double up. I'm going to do a little bit of the whole Gorilla Glue and that hot glue tool that fries your fingers if you're not careful. So I'm going to put it right there. I do want to make it sure it's kind of centered, because that's the whole thing, is having it in the center. I'm so glad that I found this little trim stuff. It's the coolest ever. Any of you other ladies found this at the store? Like I said, I forgot who had it before that was doing one. And they had, I don't know if this is color, but I was like, oh, where did you get that? It's the coolest stuff ever. All right. I'm probably going to have to, this is going to look a little tacky with the glue and everything. I'll probably have to take a little piece of clay or something and hide that, because that's not going to be pretty to me. Do I have anything? Obviously, I don't, but I got this. I need to get something to press that down and hold that. There might have been a better way to actually attach this, but my brain's not going there right now, guys. guys are lucky that I'm actually speaking at this point. I need to go take a nap after I'm done. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad it turned out. Like I said, I see them in the on the photographs, and I'm like, oh, I think I can do that. And so when it actually executes, aren't you guys excited? I saw somebody on there the other day that was crafting, and they did something, and it came out in their. I think it was Studio J or something. She's making, and she was so excited because it came out like she thought it was going to be in her head. And I'm like, isn't that cool feeling when you actually, when that thought, that idea comes to fruition and it turns into something. I always say making something out of nothing. It starts out as nothing but with a thought, and then the next thing you know, you've got a cool piece of whatever art, craft. I think it's just cool. I've seen that ribbon but haven't bought it. Oh my gosh, if you ever, I wanted to get some of that metal ribbon too. I have not seen that. I don't know. I've only been to one of my Dollar Trees around here. I've got two in this town, and I haven't been to the other one. I would love to get my hands on some of that metal. Metal, wood, glass, and clay are my probably my favorites. Well, I do love fabric too, so I'm gonna say I'm telling you guys, I love it all. I really do. That is ugly. You can't see it, but it's ugly. So I'm going to end up putting a little bit of something on top of there. A piece of jute. Maybe I'll run some jute on the inside. I actually have that. I have this, and I maybe like run a little line on the inside of there. We'll see, but I'll find something to hide that ugliness in there. But I had to find something way to tack that down. Um, Usually have the middle. Like I said, the garden stuff. Oh, the garden area. Okay, I'll have to look in there and see. Let me put a little bit of this down here. And then now I'll look at my time again. Let's see, we got the time. 40. Okay, we're almost at my 5 minute. Almost at the 5 minute mark, and it's almost time for the giveaway. The giveaway hashtag word. Alright. So yeah, that ain't so pretty. I can actually build a little piece of clay to hide that or something. I'll find something that works. Do not burn your fingers, Kim. Do not do that, please. You know that you can. What I usually do is stick them in my mouth. Is I usually spit on my fingers, and that takes it away, and it gets all over your hands. But I know that's kind of nasty. A lot of people wouldn't want, especially if they got paint on their hands, they don't want to stick their fingers in their mouth. But I don't use finger protectors because to me they're awkward. I can't make them work. They just don't work for me. I don't know why. They just feel awkward. It's like a thimble. I try to put a thimble on, and it's so awkward. I'm just a bare hand kind of girl, I guess. All right, so that's on there, but it's not the best, but at least I got it stuck on that. Yeah, the hashtag word, I'm going to give it to you right now, my 5 minutes. Okay, so it is stuck on there for now, okay? Like I said, I'll probably put a little extra piece of fabric or something to make that pretty, and then get my wood behind it, and that'll really help. But you guys get the general gist, okay? It's going to be sitting on there, and I'll add some extra beads and some little hanging ditties, and it'll be really, really cool. All right, hashtag word is hashtag moth, M-O-T-F, M-O-T-H, excuse me, F. All right, you guys, I told you I'm M-O-T-H, guys. Told you I'm tired. I told you I'm tired. M-O-T-H, hashtag moth, hashtag moth. I'll pull it up. Okay, guys, moth, M-O-T-F. What is that? Moth. Okay, yeah. So here's my shirt. Isn't it cool? It's just it's like like a sleeveless thing. It's not really tanky, but it's cool. It's long. It's really cool. It's Timu. I think it was like $4-5, something like that. Okay, let's do this. See if we can get this giveaway tool going. I've got 4 minutes. Hashtag moth, guys. Go ahead and get in. Please say it works today. If not, then I will definitely pick somebody from the lineup of the hashtag screen share. Tool. Okay, share. All right, so far it looking good. Okay, when it says got that little blue bar down there and it says start collecting comments, that's usually a good sign. But let's see. Let's make sure everybody got. Okay, everybody got it in. Hashtag moth. Hashtag moth. Hashtag moth. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna run it, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna run it. Oh, there we go. Thank you. 5 entries. 5 entries. Let's do the draw. Work today. Yes. Dana Pickett Burger. Oh, Dana, you are the winner. So, Dana, what I need you to do for me, oh, let me get that off of there. Oh, no, I don't know if you heard me because sometimes when that part comes on, it cuts my volume out. But Dana, congratulations. And what I need you to do for me is get with me and send me your email address because I will put you on the list. And I need that to send you the Amazon gift card. And that will come to you at the end of the next end of the month, sometime next week. And yeah, so congratulations. It worked. Hey, yeah. And I did pick a winner from the last one. I got to get with them and all that. But I think we're pretty good. Now, right after me, I am so sorry. Tammy Webb's coming up. She's after me. I didn't even mention her, space blonde as I am. She's coming up right after me, and you guys got to go see her. This event is going on till, let me see, I wrote that down too, till about last presenters at 7 o'clock tonight. So make sure you join the Sacred Soul. You refresh your screen for each person, and you can see us all right here. Crafter's Choice. There's going to be a lot of really cool other crafters doing some goodies. So thank you. You bet. I love Mud.Clay. You guys know that I'm a clay fanatic, and anything I can do to try to get other people like excited about working with it, or just a little bit or something. I am going to do an air dry project here soon. I mean air dry clay. I got to do something with air dry clay because a lot of people feel more comfortable with that than polymer. But yeah, clay to me is my jam. It's just really is. I love it. I'm just kind of killing a minute or two before it's time. And I know Miss Tammy's already on, so if you want to go ahead and pile on over there and look at and watch Tammy Webb and see what she's got, I'm sure. I don't know. We don't know what everybody's doing because it's Crafter's Choice, but I know it's going to be great. So, what app or program did you do the giveaway tool in? It's on StreamYard, and it's a part of the StreamYard thing. When you're a StreamYard person, it's called the StreamYard giveaway tool. And if you get on StreamYard, which is free, you have a paid version, you have a free version, you can still use that tool. All right. Thank you. Oh, a 5-star rating. I don't think anybody's ever done that for me. Oh, I want to cry. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I got to go. I love you. Go see Tammy. I'll see the rest of the girls on Flip Flop. Bye bye.